The whole city mocked Victoria Reed when she married 61-year-old billionaire Henry Sullivan. "She's after his money," people whispered. A poor schoolteacher and one of the richest men in America. Nothing about their marriage made sense. But just 3 days after the wedding, Victoria did something so unexpected that it left guests speechless, stunned Henry's family, and changed thousands of lives forever. What did she do? And why did a billionaire fall in love with a woman who owned almost nothing? This is the unforgettable story of love, sacrifice, and a secret that shocked everyone. Victoria Reed, a 36-year-old teacher, lived in a small apartment on the outskirts of Chicago. Every morning, she woke before sunrise, prepared lesson plans, and walked to school because she couldn't afford a car. Despite her financial struggles, Victoria was beloved by students. She often spent her own money on books, lunches, and school supplies for children whose families were struggling even more than hers. At school, Victoria's classroom was always filled with warmth and laughter. She believed education could change lives. Many students saw her as more than a teacher, they saw her as family. Yet behind her bright smile, Victoria carried deep loneliness. Her parents had passed away years earlier, and she had dedicated her entire life to helping others, leaving little room for herself. Henry Sullivan, age 61, was one of America's most successful businessmen. His companies employed thousands, and his wealth was legendary. Yet his luxurious mansion felt painfully empty. After losing his wife to illness 8 years earlier, Henry buried himself in work. Despite his riches, loneliness became his constant companion, something money could never erase. One afternoon, Henry visited Victoria's school to announce a scholarship program funded by his foundation. While touring classrooms, he noticed Victoria comforting a crying student. Instead of focusing on cameras and reporters, she knelt beside the child, speaking gently until the little boy smiled again. Henry stood silently, deeply moved by her kindness. After the ceremony, Henry requested a private conversation with Victoria. Expecting discussion about scholarships, she agreed. They spoke for nearly an hour. Henry was surprised by her honesty, intelligence, and passion for education. Victoria, meanwhile, discovered that beneath Henry's billionaire image was a compassionate man carrying profound grief and loneliness. Weeks later, Henry returned to the school. Then he returned again. Soon, his visits became frequent. Sometimes he brought books, computers, or supplies. But increasingly, he came simply to speak with Victoria. Their conversations ranged from childhood memories to dreams for the future. A genuine friendship slowly blossomed between them. Rumors spread quickly among staff and local media. Many questioned Henry's intentions. Others warned Victoria about becoming involved with such a powerful man. Victoria herself remained cautious. She had never cared about wealth and feared public judgment. Still, she couldn't deny the peace she felt whenever Henry was around. Months passed. Henry invited Victoria to charity events and foundation meetings. She initially refused luxurious gifts, insisting she valued friendship over material possessions. Henry respected her boundaries. Unlike others in his world, Victoria never treated him like a billionaire. She treated him simply as Henry, and that meant everything to him. One evening, after volunteering together at a homeless shelter, Henry confessed his feelings. Nervously, he admitted he had fallen in love. Victoria was stunned. The age difference worried her. Society's opinions frightened her. Yet she also knew she loved Henry's kindness, wisdom, and generous heart. Victoria spent several weeks reflecting. She prayed, sought advice from close friends, and listened carefully to her heart. Eventually, she realized love isn't measured by age, status, or wealth. It is measured by sincerity, respect, and compassion. She accepted Henry's proposal, and together they prepared for a future few understood. News of their engagement exploded across social media. Headlines accused Victoria of chasing money. Online comments were cruel and relentless. Some parents even questioned her integrity as a teacher. Victoria was heartbroken, but Henry stood beside her publicly, defending her character and reminding everyone that true love requires courage. Henry's adult children strongly opposed the marriage. They believed Victoria intended to inherit the family fortune. Tension filled every family gathering. Despite hostility, Victoria remained respectful and patient. She never argued or demanded acceptance. Secretly, she hoped time would reveal her genuine intentions. The wedding was held in a beautiful historic garden. Hundreds attended, including business leaders, celebrities, educators, and journalists. Throughout the ceremony, whispers circulated among guests. Most expected Victoria to embrace luxury immediately. Few imagined that the bride had already prepared a surprising decision no one saw coming. The ceremony ended beautifully. Henry and Victoria exchanged heartfelt vows, promising to honor, support, and cherish one another. Guests applauded warmly, though skepticism remained visible. During the reception, Henry publicly thanked Victoria for bringing joy back into his life. Many guests expected emotional speeches and elegant celebrations. Nothing more. Then Victoria requested the microphone. The ballroom fell silent. Smiling nervously, she thanked everyone for attending. She spoke about children living in poverty, overcrowded classrooms, and struggling teachers. Guests exchanged confused glances, wondering why she was discussing education during her wedding reception. Victoria then revealed her shocking announcement. Instead of accepting expensive wedding gifts, she and Henry had decided to establish the Reed Sullivan Education Foundation. Every gift, donation, and a significant portion of their wedding budget would fund scholarships, school supplies, and educational programs for disadvantaged children. The audience sat frozen. Reporters hurriedly raised cameras. Henry's children looked astonished. Many guests couldn't believe what they had heard. Victoria continued, explaining that love should create hope for others. She wanted their marriage celebration to become a blessing for families facing hardships she understood personally. But Victoria wasn't finished. She announced she would continue teaching despite becoming a billionaire's wife. She refused to abandon her students. The room erupted into applause. Teachers attending the wedding wiped away tears. Even some critics began reconsidering everything they had assumed about her. In the weeks following the wedding, media outlets covered Victoria's decision extensively. Public opinion shifted dramatically. Articles praised her humility and dedication. Donations poured into the foundation from across the country. Thousands of children soon benefited from scholarships, books, meals, and educational opportunities. Henry watched proudly as Victoria transformed their shared dream into reality. For the first time in years, he felt his wealth truly had purpose. Rather than purchasing luxury, Victoria invested in people. Her compassion inspired Henry to become even more involved in charitable work. Eventually, Henry's children visited one of the foundation's community programs. There, they witnessed children receiving supplies and expressing gratitude. They saw Victoria personally helping students, exactly as she had before marriage. Slowly, their suspicion began fading. One afternoon, Henry's eldest daughter privately apologized to Victoria. Through tears, she admitted judging her unfairly. Victoria embraced her warmly. That emotional moment marked the beginning of healing within the family, proving forgiveness can restore relationships damaged by misunderstanding. As years passed, the Reed Sullivan Foundation expanded nationally. Schools in underserved communities received funding, technology, and support. Countless children gained opportunities previously impossible. Victoria remained personally involved, regularly visiting classrooms and mentoring young educators. Despite enormous wealth, Victoria and Henry chose a surprisingly modest lifestyle. They preferred community events, volunteer activities, and quiet evenings together over extravagant parties. Their relationship remained grounded in shared values rather than material possessions. Whenever journalists asked Victoria why she rejected luxury, she always answered simply, "I know what it feels like to have nothing. I never want to forget that." Her words resonated deeply with millions around the world. Henry often said Victoria had saved him from a life of loneliness. Before meeting her, success meant profits and business growth. After meeting her, success meant changing lives, strengthening families, and creating opportunities for future generations. On their 5th wedding anniversary, the foundation celebrated helping more than 50,000 children. During the ceremony, many former scholarship recipients shared emotional stories about how Victoria and Henry had changed their lives forever. Standing together on stage, Henry looked at Victoria with tears in his eyes. He thanked her for teaching him that true wealth isn't measured in dollars, but in compassion, generosity, and love shared with others. Victoria responded by thanking Henry for believing in her when others doubted. She reminded everyone that love often arrives unexpectedly and should never be judged by appearances, age, or social status. The couple's story became a powerful reminder that genuine love can silence criticism and transform lives. The poor teacher many accused of seeking money had instead given away opportunities, hope, and kindness. In the end, Victoria's actions after the wedding shocked everyone, not because they expected greed, but because they witnessed extraordinary generosity. True love is not measured by age, wealth, or appearances. It is revealed through kindness, sacrifice, and the positive impact we make on others.